to Oilers Nation every day with your hosts, Tyler and Liam.
So we have contributions to the win last night. You'll see there's one bar that just doesn't stop going. It's Connor McDavid, and that's everyone else. Let's get into it with the lead. Did I get anything wrong on this? It's so big it won't even fit in one shot.
We should hang that today.
We honestly should.
Yes.
Maybe we can get some, we'll find some tape or something and hang it up. It was a lot of Connor McDavid last night as the Edmonton Oilers find a way to get back into the win column. Was there a third column? I don't even, like, someone's probably going to say, like, Jake Wallman, but it's like,
Matthew Olivier.
Freddie getting his face beat in.
No, there's a proper amount of recognition for that in there.
Yeah, everyone else kind of goes for both teams, I think.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. This will be a nice screen grab for us to remember later in the year when things are actually going well. It'll be like, oh, yeah. Remember that game against Columbus?
Reese needs to draw McDavid.
Yeah, Reese has to draw McDavid.
I was 5-iron is in.
Oh, he's back. Well, he's not back. He's still in two pieces at the bottom of my golf bag, but I digress. Welcome into Oilers Nation every day. The show is live from the Sports Closet studio. You can check them out online at sportscloset.ca. Remember, 25th anniversary and their prize, 4 tickets to a game and a $1,000 Sports Closet shopping spree. Simply spend $100 or more in-store or online before November 30th. The show, as always, a presentation of Bet365. Download the app, use the promo code NATION, whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. I hit a banger yesterday.
Tell me about it.
Ivan Barbashev. Did I talk about my Barbashev bet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. Plus
he cashed.
300.
So I parlayed it with McDavid 3 shots. It was like, whatever, 25 or 50 into like 350.
Damn.
Yeah. I was fired up last night.
I had McDavid 2+ points.
You won in the challenge?
No, I didn't. I had McDavid power play point, which you would have got if Draisaitl had a bit more of an accurate shot. God.
Darn it. Honestly, the lead, all jokes aside, that is a game last night. And by the way, we have a couple of great guests coming up on the show. Thomas Hickey was a part of last night's Amazon Prime broadcast. He's going to swing by, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he saw from ice level in that hockey game last night. A good Berta boy, Thomas Hickey. WHL.
From Calgary, right?
Yeah, he's from Calgary. He's going to join us. And also Devan Dubnyk, a good Berta boy. Where's he from?
Regina.
I thought he's from Calgary as well. He's from Calgary.
Oh, I thought he was from Regina.
No, Calgary.
Really?
So Devan Dubnyk's going to join us. Thomas Hickey's going to join us. Hickey's coming up in about 10 minutes' time, and he's squeezing us into a jam-packed day. So we only have him for 15 minutes. So we got to make our questions count. We got to be efficient.
Where's he going?
I don't know. Probably back home.
Calgary?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe we'll ask him. That'd be a good place to open it up with Thomas Hickey. We'll break down the game from every perspective. Also, Aaron's back today. Welcome back, Aaron.
Hi, everybody. I missed you all dearly.
You seem tired.
I don't feel great. It was a long week. It was a great week. Shout out Weddings in Dominican. I highly recommend it. I said to Tyler, I don't know if I can go back to a non-5-star resort. Because once you live luxury like that, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Take this ball off me. I keep playing with it.
Yep.
That was bold as shit for you to just heave a baseball there. Good throw.
He believed in me.
Yeah, you did good.
He believed in me.
No, don't. Stop it, you guys. God damn it.
Tyler, try one.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Knuckler coming back at you.
All right, Tiki Knuckleball.
Anyways, feels good to have the crew back. Feels good to have an Oilers win to talk about. Jesus, man.
Yep. They won. Somehow, some way, they won.
Hey, how was the Oilers game last night? They won.
They won.
One of those games.
I only tuned in from the moment I crossed Canada, and it looked like the Oilers were just getting their just faces punched in, literally and figuratively, both ways.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I turned the game on, and bing, bang, boom. Wallman goal doesn't make sense. McDavid's supernova McDavid. We're back, folks. We're back.
Which McDavid goal was your favorite last night?
Oh, the first one.
The backhand?
Yeah, it was
That was
unbelievable.
disgusting.
That might be his most underappreciated goal he's ever scored.
Poor Denton Matejchuk. Good Alberta boy.
Nope, from Winnipeg.
Ah, damn it. But anyways, yeah, Denton Matejchuk, poor guy, falls down. McDavid, the backhander. I was talking to, maybe this is a good one to throw Doobie's way, but like, how hard is this to read as a goalie. When a guy comes in, mid-spinorama, throws a perfect dotted backhand, blindly, I might add, to the far side. Connor McDavid with the breathe right strip on his nose.
Yeah, I only use those in bed. So for him to play
Kinky.
a hockey game and do this was pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no strip, shaved, all over, I would
New
assume.
year, new me.
Yeah, and then just does this. God, we needed this so bad. We just needed Connor McDavid to take over a game for us. Like, when was the last time we saw him go and do that? You know what I mean? Like, have we seen it once this season? Maybe I'm forgetting.
So there's a whole bunch of different ways I want to go today on the show, and obviously with both Doobie and Hickey coming up, I want to kind of split things up a little bit. But a couple of things that maybe I won't touch on with them. A lot of scrums early on. Yeah. Trent Frederick comes out, and God bless his heart, he drops the gloves with one of the toughest MFers in the NHL, and Matthew Olivier. Are you okay?
I was going to text Aaron something.
Oh, your phone's behind your laptop.
Thanks.
There you go. So, like, you have Freddie come out, drop the mitts with Olivier. I mean, I think we all kind of wanted Freddie to drop the gloves at some point. And again, he had the line the other day of, no one wants to fight a guy with one goal, and he got some deserved pushback, we'll call it, on that one. But good to see him come out and do that. A lot of scrums early on. Podkolzin with a big hit. Leon Draisaitl, I have thoughts on how Leon Draisaitl played. But he had a big hit early on. Also, he might just hate Kent Johnson.
Oh, yeah, he was really at him.
And I think going back to last year, if I'm remembering last year's games right, I think Leon was pissed off at Kent Johnson last year for some reason.
Oh, interesting.
Because Leon Draisaitl in the first period took 3 hard strides, I think, in the whole period. He might have taken 3 hard strides in the whole game, if I'm being totally honest. Not to dog Draisaitl too hard. But 3 of his hard strides were hammering Kent Johnson, and he didn't start skating hard till he saw it was Kent Johnson. And then in that scrum, Draisaitl was not in the scrum at all, saw it was Kent Johnson, and put him in a headlock.
Just went for it, yeah. Yeah, it was interesting. That's right. It was Kent Johnson.
But they had some jam early.
Yeah, they did.
Good.
They did. What was it? Obviously, Trent Frederick fight, of course. The players really, really spoke about that in post-game, and like it didn't go his way. But if it did, that would have been awesome to watch. So I just think that it's a tough one. At the start of it, like, he really does get a good hit on Matthew Olivier, the Mississippi boy. Yeah. But Lazar causes a bit of chaos.
Yep.
Podkolzin has a big hit. Draisaitl has a big hit. Then there's also 2, what was it? There was another one later on in front of their own net. It might have been Kulak and Emberson. Whoever ended up being, maybe it was Walman and Nurse. We haven't seen that. And it did feel a bit forced, is probably fair to say, but I'm glad they felt like they had to go and do something, and they couldn't just lay back and do it. And then gradually the game got tighter and a bit more chaotic. So I appreciated that they tried to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there was clearly a message, and the message was received in the first period that we need to go play more physical. So the Oilers did that. By far their most physical, both between the whistles, after the whistles, their best period from a physicality perspective. Then things kind of fell off. They got to the second period, and they got caught running around. They were hemmed in their zone for very long stretches. I don't have the exact numbers on this, but I'm pretty sure Ty Emberson led the team in time on ice in the second period, and it's only because he had like multiple 3-minute shifts because he couldn't fucking get the puck out of his own end.
Yeah, there was 3 times that the Oilers were hemmed into their own zone, and the third one obviously results in a goal against, and Skinner got a lot of blame to that one. If you're in the chat right now, please vote on the quality start meter, because that was quite the debate pre-show between Tyler and I. I won't tell you which side we both fell on, but I'm curious to see what you guys all thought of Stuart Skinner last night. Didn't love that goal, which ended up being Boone Jenner, I think, but not based off Skinner, but based off literally nobody else making a commitment to doing anything in that moment.
Yeah, just
it was
watching.
just frustrating, and obviously they got booed off the ice, which I want to get to. Like, that felt like a big turning point, and I hope we all kind of sat there and 9-1 loss. That is a turning point of the season. I think getting booed off the ice is huge. That is something that cannot happen to the Edmonton ever.
But I don't think it did a lot to turn things around for them, because they weren't good in the third period. It was just Connor McDavid showed up. That's all that was. But we can't be sugarcoating this saying they played well.
Oh, I certainly not. I don't think they played well, but they found a way. And I honestly don't think if those boos came around, I don't know if they would have found a way. I think they would have folded over.
McDavid was having a great game leading up to that, though. So
but
I think
folded so many times this season in third periods that I think the booing was kind of like, enough of this. Like, they need to change something. And I think they did. There was another thing that we didn't talk about. Evan Bouchard was benched yesterday.
Evan Bouch had to take a seat. That was interesting, necessary, needed, potentially long overdue. And listen, you and I are staunch Bouchard supporters. You are not going to catch me sitting here saying trade him, put him, make him a winger, any of the stuff that I view as dumb. But you pointed out, had a couple bad turnovers, then takes a penalty. I kind of tweeted, I was like, benching him after the penalty, like, of everything he's done, that penalty was kind of a soft call, at least from what I saw on the broadcast. Like, I didn't think he deserved to be benched for that, but you brought up the turnovers before, and yeah, Chris Knoblauch said I had enough. And one, I will say, full credit to Chris Knoblauch.
Yes, finally.
Yeah, because, listen, I think benching star players is a really tough thing to do as a head coach. We saw him do it last year with Leon Draisaitl, and honestly, I think it kind of lingered a little bit. Draisaitl was very clearly upset about that after the game. You bench Bouchard, so full credit to Knoblauch for, taking that stance finally. Full credit to Evan Bouchard, who came back and in the final, we'll call it 35 minutes of that hockey game, was excellent. Was one of the few players who had a pulse offensively, who was doing something to generate. So, again, full marks to Bouch and Knoblauch for that whole situation. Again, it sucks we are at a point where Evan Bouchard's getting benched in a hockey game against Columbus, but hopefully that is a turning point for Bouch now.
So I think there's something interesting about the Bouchard penalty, because I think the broadcast might have showed it the wrong.
Because there was a second slash after that I don't think we saw.
And that's what the refs called. Okay. So I went back and I watched it, and I watched those first few shifts. So like you said, he had two plays which I would say were bad. There was the one which resulted in Draisaitl actually got the turnover, but Bouchard put himself in such a spot that the only thing Draisaitl could do was probably turn the puck over. So I didn't like that. Then he had another one the shift before he ended up taking a penalty where it was a similar error he made against the New York Rangers when it ended up being the Taylor Radish goal. And I didn't love that from him. And the penalty, Knoblauch, referenced it in his postgame too. Is like it was an after the play penalty again, is what he said. And I couldn't recall another one that he did, but clearly it's something they've spoken about. And he gets Fantilli once and doesn't get called, and he does it again. And it resulted in the rest of the period, him sat in the box, coming out for 3 seconds, ends up scoring. Power play goes perfect again on the night. Now killed 9 penalties in a row, which is crazy. Penalty kill, sorry. And he sits on the bench for the last 8 minutes, and finally. Yep. And I think when Bouchard has made these errors in the past, they've come at such a critical time that you almost need him to continue to play because he's capable of changing the game on his own. But this one came so early that it had to be done when it did. And to his credit, he came back out, and I watched every single shift after. He did not make an error. He was really rock solid, quick plays. A lot of the plays started and finished in the offensive zone, if not started in the neutral zone, finishing in a positive way. I credit to him. Hopefully it's a turning point for him, and he can just calm down. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not, for me, it's never about the puck errors necessarily. It's about a work ethic thing. And he just has such a nonchalant style. Sometimes it's hard to look past it, but he just needs to look like he's working harder. And I think after that, he looked like he was working harder.
Mm. Credit to you. I came in today. You were downstairs sitting by yourself, grinding tape.
Yeah,
you were in the film room.
I had to.
Someone's got to do it.
People needed to know. We do stuff for this show.
That's fair. That's fair. We got a couple other things we want to talk about a little bit later in the show. They score 5 goals. They score 3 goals at 5-on-5. Yeah. I am not absolving this 5-on-5 offense at all. They were, I will put this in very simple terms, dog shit offensively last night. Noah Philp passing off on a partial break, like the perimeter passing, nothing dangerous in the middle of the ice. It's a whole nother conversation that we will talk about maybe a little bit later on. But I do think our first guest is here. So let's head out to the Star Mechanical guest line. It's Edmonton's #1 plumbing and heating company. You can find out more about what gives them that moniker by visiting them online at starmechanical.ca. Residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. They do it all. They do it well, as we welcome in former NHL defenseman, member of the Amazon Prime broadcast, Thomas Hickey. Thomas, how was your night in Edmonton last night?
Hey guys, it was thrilling, to be honest with you. It was a thrilling finish. It was a great ceremony before the game. There was some really poor hockey played. And, I think you guys at Oilers Nation, you get to see Connor McDavid every day. I don't get that. I get to see him a lot, but to see him live and to see what he did, that was remarkable last night. He took over the game, and it looked like they were out. They got lucky. A thrilling finish in overtime. Roslovic, the hometown Columbus kid. So it was a great storyline. It was a great night. Tons of holes for the Oilers, but how was my night? My night was fantastic. That was great.
If you bear with me for a second, I'll show you. I did an art project to sum up the game actually last night. So we have a chart. It's contributions to the win. And you see this one bar, very, very high. That's Connor McDavid, and that's everyone else. Thomas, is this too harsh to the Oilers, or is it pretty accurate?
No, that's pretty accurate. I know Leon didn't have any points, I don't think. Yeah, he didn't have any points. I thought Leon was great. And a different type of Leon, like the competitive side of him. And, being at ice level, you see things a little bit differently. And, I think from the periphery, you watch the Edmonton Oilers, you might watch Leon and be like, sometimes he takes a shift off here or there. Maybe he's resting while he's out on the ice. That's okay because he plays so many minutes. I thought he was a presence despite him not really contributing offensively. I thought he was a tone setter. And, I did think the Oilers had a physical response from the drubbing at the hands of Colorado. Like, I did think they showed that they cared. It just didn't come out in a tangible way that you said, oh, they're playing better. But Leon was very good. Connor was great. Roslovic was noticeable. Mm-hmm. And outside of that, everyone else, not nearly to the standard of what you need to win in the NHL. And like Columbus is a blue-collar, hardworking team with one great defenseman and honest players, and they were the better hockey team. The Edmonton Oilers just had Connor McDavid.
You were obviously on the bench last night with the call as well. What was the reaction? Did you catch the reaction after the Trent Frederick fight from the Oilers?
Yeah, they loved that. Standing beside Calvin Pickard and that whole group. I mean, so much respect for that. And I've got so much respect for Frederick for going out and doing that. And I mean, I was never a tough guy, was never a fighter, but, listening to Jody Shelley talk, who was that? And, my analyst partner, and talking about Frederick during the day, what you go through in that sense. And Frederick's a tough customer. He's not Matthew Olivier, and no one's Matthew Olivier, and or at least not in the NHL right now. So to know that you have that coming to you, it's tough when you sort of got to prove yourself that you want to be here and you want to compete and you're going to stick it out for your team. Sometimes that means taking a few tough ones. I mean, his face was not in good shape when he came off. He came right by me. I got respect for showing up to the fight more than anything else. His teammates really appreciated that too.
Yeah, and that first period, again, noticeably physical. I would say the Oilers were generating a little bit. But as the game went on, like my biggest gripe with their effort last night is the 5-on-5 offense and how a team with the quality of players that I think they have, not to mention like Connor, Leon, sure. And I know they're missing Hyman, they're missing Nuge. That's worth adding into the conversation. But like they cannot generate at 5-on-5. They do not get meaningful quality scoring chances at nearly the same rate of anyone they play. Never mind just the Columbus game last night, but you getting a chance to look at this team close up. Let's go analyst cap here. Like, what's the issue at 5-on-5? What are they not doing?
Yeah, you're bang on. I feel the same way. So let's caveat this just a little bit. You mentioned Hyman. I understand injuries are part of any team. They can't be an excuse. I sort of said at the start of the year, I won't judge the Edmonton Oilers until I see them with Zach Hyman. Not totally fair because they lost him in the playoffs. And if you want to win a Stanley Cup, which they need to do at Edmonton, it doesn't matter who's hurt, who's not. But let's talk about the regular season. Hyman, there was no Nugent Hopkins, someone like Kapanen coming back to the lineup. Then you got Janmark, and all of a sudden there's a reason to fully panic right here. But I do think there's a reason to be concerned because I said at multiple points in the broadcast last night, the Oilers being down to, if not for a miraculous individual performance by Connor McDavid, how do you expect to get back into game 5-on-5 when When 97's on the ice, you might have scoring opportunities. You might get something done. There's a good chance you're going to create something. And then you're going to go 2 or 3 shifts after that where you're playing in your own end and you have absolutely zero. From the Edmonton Oilers perspective, I can see what they've tried to do. They've made notable change. That's clear with the roster to me up front. Howard, Savoy, they're not there yet, but they did add speed in those guys. They did add youth. They did add a reason that if those guys find their game, then you can see the Oilers getting better, not trying to be as good as they were the year before and the year before that. So I understand the idea, but 16 games into the NHL season, those guys aren't having the impact, and that's fine. It's okay. It's going to take some time for young players in the NHL. It's not easy, but clearly the depth isn't there for the Oilers, and they struggle to generate really anything in the offensive zone, any cycle, any forecheck. I'm not saying they weren't trying. I don't have an issue with Chris Knobloch. The roster's really thin right now, and it's not on time as far as expecting these young guys to take up a bigger role and say, go out and have impactful shifts 2 times a period where they don't need to score, but just play on the other end. The other issue is the Oilers' blue line, and I don't have an issue with the personnel. And if there's one thing that's going to be the easiest to change, it's that, because just get better. These are good defensemen that are playing poorly, almost to a man, with the exception of a guy here or there on a given night. Getting ready for that game, watching a lot of Oilers, not up to the standard that they need to be. So sorry for the long-winded answer, but when you get a better group, when you got your group playing better defensive hockey, and I'm talking about defensively, but moving the puck as well. I mean, so many plays died on Edmonton Oilers defenseman stick last night, and that drives your top guys crazy. They come off the ice and they're upset because they've worked so hard. Throw it back to the point, it's dead play. Now I got to back check. So once the D plays a little bit better, maybe the forwards time out as the season goes along, and then you get healthy bodies back. I don't think it's a cause for alarm, but right now it is a cause for concern the way the Oilers played.
Chris Knobloch also made a pretty significant decision in the first bench in Devan Bouchard after Columbus made it 1-0. What did you make of his play individually after that happened? Did you see, I know you just talked about the defenseman a little bit, but did you see a bit more of an impact from him after that decision?
I saw a guy that was on his toes in the third period when he pulled the thing out of the air and made a great pass to Connor McDavid. Yep. And that really sprung McDavid. I mean, that's quick transition. That's intensity. That's doing things at a high pace. That's being screwed into the game mentally. And all those things that I said are areas that Devan Bouchard can excel at, or he can decide that, or show that he's not interested in any of those things at all. So to answer your question, I did see an impact. That was an awesome play from Devan Bouchard. He created some stuff offensively. He's just such a difficult guy to analyze because you see him do it and you go, didn't seem like it was that hard for you. You did it great. You did it as good as any defenseman in the NHL as far as moving the puck and making a quick decision. How can we get you to do that all the time? And here you are in, what year is this for him? 5, 6?
5, 6, yeah.
What do we need to bench you to wake you up to get your head into the game? I'm saying this with great respect for Devan Bouchard, not to hammer on him, but why do you need a wake-up call at this point in your NHL career? You're an outstanding defenseman when you're on your game. It needs to be on you. I don't think anyone else can say, are we going to get Devan Bouchard that's worth all the money we pay him tonight? I sure hope so. It's got to be every night. It's a big responsibility. I think very highly of him, and that's why he's an easy target, because it's not his game you pick holes in. It's how he approaches his game that you pick holes in.
Last one I got for you. We made the decision as a show at the beginning of the year that we hate save percentage when you judge an Oilers goalie, because there are games where they give up 18 shots. 9 of them are breakaways and 2-on-1s. The goalie has a dog shit save percentage, and everyone sits there and goes, the goalie sucks. So we decided to only judge Stuart Skinner. We're calling it a quality start meter. We give him a thumbs up, a thumbs sideways, or a thumbs down on every game. So last night, just based off save percentage, it's a thumbs down. How do you feel Stuart Skinner played in that game last night? Because we argued before the show.
Yeah.
I think he made enough big saves to earn at least a so-so.
I'll give him a so-so.
All right.
Let's not forget too. I mean, it's been tough on this guy, and you get shelled. Your team doesn't show up for you. Then you go out into that game. Columbus takes the lead. I didn't really have a big problem with the goals. I mean, I know the one to Monahan looks like, oh, what an awful rebound. And I'm not trying to be a goaltender apologist. But I think it was Kent Johnson that shot it. I mentioned there was a little bit of back pressure. I think it threw up an off speed. Well, you're an NHL goaltender. Yeah, don't give up a big rebound. I do get it. I look at that big save on Charlie Coyle. I forget which point of the game that was.
That was first period.
That could have put the game sort of like, oh no, here we go again. We're getting shelled at home. Really big save there. In overtime, a big one as well. So I give him a sideways thumb. He got the win. He battled. It wasn't easy. And he was okay. And I think for a goalie coming off a tough game, it's not Mika Kiprusoff where you have a bad one and then you're going to be phenomenal. Well, not many guys are that. Can you have a bad game and just be good enough for your team to win? Yeah, especially at a time when your team didn't play well and played so much time in their own end. Sideways thumb for me.
All right. Well, then he's the tiebreaker because it was 51% in the YouTube chat. So if Thomas says it's a sideways thumb, it's a sideways thumb. We appreciate your time. You're in Alberta. Do you bake in a trip back home to Calgary really quick, or are you on a plane to the next spot now?
Unfortunately not. Going to Vegas to link up with the Islanders. So I got Thursday Vegas, Friday in Utah, and so a little time off here, which is great. And then we're right back at it for Prime on Monday. Columbus again, which I don't know what the odds are of getting Columbus back to back, but we're going to be in Columbus, getting to see Montreal, and I can't wait for that. Really exciting Eastern Conference matchup. But that's the week for me.
Jody Shelley's just been fighting Amazon producers, being like Columbus again, and they're like, "Fuck, fine."
He just intimidates them. He's like, "It's got to be Columbus. It's easier for me." And we all bow down to Jody. Yeah.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Thomas. Appreciate the time.
Yeah. Anytime, guys. Take care.
There you go. Thomas Hickey, Amazon Prime broadcast, does some work with the Islanders as well on their broadcast. Played north of 400 NHL games.
Yeah.
WHL. Seattle Thunderbird.
Was he a Thunderbird?
He was a T-Bird, yep.
There's very level-headed responses, and I think people appreciate that in the chat.
He's got a Louis DeBrusque-esque calming way to give you an answer. Like even with the Bouchard stuff. Like I'm blunt. I would just be like, sometimes he looks like an idiot. And Thomas he was a lot more methodical. You can tell why a guy like that's a pro.
Yeah, well, the nonchalantness is just his problem, isn't it? And he's so true. Like, again, when I was looking back at some of the video of him, and you see him, it's like, great play, great play, great play. And sometimes it is hard to do that every single night, don't get me wrong. To play it's like such an elite level, and the players that do that are special. But you can't just play it that level and then play it the lowest level. Mm-hmm. You know, there's got to be some middle ground there where we don't even know you were playing, which is fine too. And that's the thing with Bouchard, and very nonchalant plays you probably don't even notice, but are very effective. So obviously we're fans of him, and I think the majority of people probably are. But he needs to win the fan base over a bit as well with just give us some solid games here. Don't turn the puck over to Taylor Radish in the middle of the ice.
Yeah.
You know, that would help.
There was one of those hilarious Twitter accounts that pretends to be insider who were like, Emberson's playing tonight because another team is scouting him for a trade. Which one of those narratives I think we can just put a bullet in, because like teams can watch film. Teams watch a player 30 times. No team last night was like, all right, Edmonton, you got to play Emberson because this will make or break if we trade for him. Like, what?
Too, he's played relatively well and probably deserved to be in the lineup. He played bad yesterday, but
he was
you know what
really
I mean?
bad yesterday.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious to see. You got back-to-back games this week. There's no way he plays both of them. Does he play any of them is the question, or are they going Stetcher regular?
That's true. Stetcher, I kind of forgot about him.
Hasn't played in a while. I wonder, back-to-back, if they don't play Stetcher one, regular one, I wonder if we don't see Emberson until the weekend.
Because it's interesting because you won the game and you can look at it and be like, this is the lineup that got me through it. I'm going to stick with my guys for the night.
Yeah.
But there was way more passengers than pilots or whatever the saying would be. But I don't know. He's probably a couple of changes I would make, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think Noah Phil might have worked his way out of the lineup just based off him solely not attacking the net in that one.
He had a tough for all those shifts where Emberson was hemmed. Philp was there too, and I'm not stupid enough to try to convince you guys otherwise. He had a really bad hockey game. His metrics aren't good. He played well earlier in the year. It's fallen off a little bit. I do worry about my boy. I worry about my boy Noah Philp a little bit.
Do you know, you can worry about him, but also there's a side of it too. Is he playing so poorly he would just get through waivers?
Probably.
You know?
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
Yep. There was a comment in here from Final Buzzer. Did not agree with his take, Thomas's take, on 29 last night on Leon Draisaitl. And here's where I'm not going to argue that much with Thomas, because Leon Draisaitl, if you go back and watch that game, made 5 or 6 plays that were all-world hockey plays.
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff. And Thomas did kind of say, does he take shifts off? Does he rest on the ice? Yes, it's because he plays a lot. Thomas doesn't watch 82 Oilers games a year.
Nope.
We all do. We are numb to the 5 or 6 great Leon Draisaitl plays the same way that maybe Thomas would be numb to the little things in Draisaitl's game that drive us bonkers. Doesn't back check particularly hard. A lot of plays where he could take maybe a hard stride or two. Instead, he wants to reach out with one hand on a stick. He does a lot of things that drive you absolutely bananas as someone who watches 82 Leon Draisaitl games a year. If you are someone from the other side or someone who does national broadcasts who only sees him a couple of times, the 5 or 6 all-world things he does, because you know he's Leon Draisaitl, those are going to stick with you way more. So I think that's just more of a perception thing with it, which is why, again, Thomas comes, watches an Oilers game up close on the ice. He sees the big hulking Leon Draisaitl make a couple of nasty toe drags, make a couple of great plays to keep drives alive, and he's like, wow, that's why Leon's Leon. We are numb to that. We see the bad plays and go, this team sucks, and I'm angry at what Leon Draisaitl's doing on this shift.
I don't really have much else to add, to be honest with you. I thought
Also, someone said Draisaitl stopped a breakaway or a potential 2-on-0 that he caused with a lazy turnover. Again, perception.
Yeah,
I love Leon.
You did mention he made 4 or 5 solid plays, like you said, and that was easily one of them. He did it at the crossbar, bit unlucky on that one too. That would have been nice for my game day challenge bet, but is what it is. But he plays so well most nights that I don't even give a shit if he has a bad one.
Yeah.
Or an average one. If this was a quality start meter, I would just call it so-so.
It was a so-so game from Leon. Yep, I agree.
Okay, let's get into the Skinner thing here, because the quality start meter is spoken. Thomas Hickey has spoken.
Mm-hmm.
The votes are in so-so for Stuart Skinner last night. That's 329 people voted in the chat. That's 53%.
I want to hear
34%, bad, 13% good.
I want to hear from the people who said bad. Because I'm really curious why you think it was bad. I don't think it was bad. He faced a lot of quality. Coyle breakaway stop, Coyle stop in OT, in tight on Boone Jenner was graded as a high danger look. He made a glove save in the second period when it was a 2-goal game. I don't know.
He made the last save of the game, which resulted in a breakaway for Jack Roslovic. You know what I mean? I actually said bad.
You said bad, and I disagreed with you pretty hard.
I think maybe you walked me back. You did go straight to good. I don't think he was good.
I just think the big saves were influential enough.
And that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. I think they probably were. It's interesting. I'd like more still.
Oh my God, Kyle, the Coyle stop in OT looked like it would have hit the side of the net. Shut the hell up. We're not doing that. We're not sitting there on saves he does make, big saves he does make, and be like, man, he might have hit the outside of the post, so he doesn't get credit for that. Come on.
Stop was made. It ended up going the other way, and he seemed to track that one really well, which was fine. Andrew said perfectly adequate. Hey, if I had a 4th rating, maybe that's a good way to do it.
But that's what so-so is. It's adequate. He did enough.
I didn't love the Monahan goal.
The goals he allowed seemed bad. I think only the Monahan goal seemed bad.
I think the third goal seemed bad. But when you actually watch it, I just think there was so many errors in front. I saw someone put that out there on Twitter as well. Maybe it was in the chat. Sorry if this was you. But it's just he made a mistake, but the guys in front of him made so many other bad mistakes. That second period, they were out high danger chance 9-0. Like, that's crazy.
Crazy. They could have been down 4 goals after the second
What did
period.
you say? Natural stat trick had his expected goals against was, I think, 3.28 or something like that.
3.35.
That is so high.
So high.
So high.
They gave up so much danger, man.
Yeah.
The goal is, I like this one from Jake. He may not have been good, but he was clutch. And you know
That's
what?
a good way to put it.
Maybe that's just Stuart Skinner. If he's not good, then he's got to be clutch. If he's not going to be clutch, then he's got to be good, right? If he gives you one of those, he's giving you a chance to win, I think. And again, that's what you're paying for with this goaltending.
Made one more save. Actually, he didn't make one more save. Jack Reeves made more saves, but he made the last save. It was a game that needed the last save.
Was he
win.
the best goalie in the game last night? Jack Reeves gave up.
Yeah, probably was.
Jack Reeves gave up some stinkers.
Yeah, that Warman one wasn't. Actually, it was terrible.
Both Warman ones.
No, the other one was unfortunate.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, unlucky. But that first one was
anything.
terrible.
First one was bad. What were the other ones? McDavid. To be honest, like, real less Dubby, but like the McDavid backhand one was maybe.
What about the OT winner? Goalies are allowed to stop breakaways, you know?
Okay, we'll go with So-So and Stuart Skinner. I'm shocked. I thought we would all lean a bit more bad, but maybe I'm just trying to be too harsh to counter out the haters. I got to get my spoons on my eyes. You guys remember that meme?
No.
Yes.
You know, see if you can find it, Aaron. After
I just want to say that before I left on vacation, all I was told was he doesn't make timely saves and he doesn't make breakaway saves. Can't be changing the goalposts now because what I watched yesterday were timely and breakaway saves.
Yeah.
Shout out, Stu.
What? This one?
was blocking out the haters.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Stu needs to work on his lateral movement. I know.
I
Okay.
don't
Great.
think I don't think that's a fair takeaway from last night's game, considering he stopped a breakaway that was coming across him and then also stopped a 2-on-1 in overtime. I don't know. I don't even know what he needs to work on. I'm not a goalie expert. He needs to work on not allowing 4 goals. How about that? Even against Colorado, it was bad, but it wasn't as bad as people made it seem.
He is at an 883 league average. This year is an 896. So again, if he can give you a 1, he needs another great start now, but
Roland is in. Such Stu Glazers. Buddy, the chat voted. I said bad.
Thomas Hickey said so.
Thomas Hickey was on the bench.
Yeah.
Played in the NHL, said he was fine. He played fine games. So you're just a hater. Roland.
Rolling
down the river. Don't mind me.
I think Thomas Hickey liked our bits.
He seemed
to enjoy his time with us. Maybe we'll get him on more.
Hey, if he starts using the quality start meter on his broadcast, I think it's going to take off eventually.
Yeah, we just need a couple influential people. Do they have another Prime game? When are we going to get to chat with Thomas next?
Because we probably
will.
they
do. December 29th against the Jets. Oh, they're losing that game 3-0. They are losing that game without a doubt. I wish I could bet on it right now. Bet on the Jets money line. They are not winning a Prime game in Winnipeg at 5:30 on a Monday. They are losing that hockey game. Lock it up.
Not excited.
Any other guaranteed losses coming? Oh, they got another Prime game at home against Anaheim, January 26th. They're winning that game.
The Pacific Division lead in Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah, but they'll win it.
Sure,
Oilers
that'll
will beat them
last.
like 6-2, and it'll be a whole like storyline of like, ooh.
Where are we at in the standings now? Do we have a standings graphic update? Not that I'm really paying that much attention. I'm just curious. There's a lot of people watching in the chat right now. 526. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please leave a like on the video. The Oilers are up to 5th in the division, tied for 2nd. Do you know the one thing I've been looking at here as the Oilers had those days off? The Pacific Division teams just weren't winning.
Really?
They just weren't winning. Like, I think the Ducks were the only team to really get a win, and one of them came against Vegas, which really harmed me in the daily face-off survivor pool challenge.
Are you still in?
I'm alive and well, buddy. I got one life left.
I went 0 for 2, was done second week.
Yeah, I'm thriving. I gotta bet my betting for this week. I did pick Vegas to beat Anaheim, which in hindsight was probably pretty dumb. But
Condors play tonight. Do you think they start Connor Ingram for
who
once?
did they play?
The Firebirds.
Are they at home?
Coachella Valley.
Or on the road?
In Coachella.
It's just fairly close, I think. Coachella's really good. No, I think they'll play Matt Tompkins. They usually are good. I shouldn't say really good. That's Seattle's.
Yeah, Seattle's minor league team.
And Grant Fuhr is their color commentator.
Yeah, he is.
Our buddy Grant.
Oh my god. That Mount Rushmore moment for our show, right? And not just the chance to interview Grant Fuhr, but when we came back from playing it,
it just hit me so hard. I don't even
you
know what
were
it was.
crying, laughing. He's in the Hall of Fame, Liam.
He's in our Hall of Fame too.
He is.
Now.
He is. Shout out to
Two-time
Pepsi.
Hall of Famer. Shout out to Pepsi.
Shout out to Pepsi.
What is it? Pepsi, Coca-Cola glass, Pepsi. I don't give a damn.
You're in your meme bag today.
I'm
Hey?
memeing.
Yanni says, forget Ingram and get Bussy. The Hurricanes lost a defenseman for the next couple months. Stetcher for Bussy. Just do it.
I'm bussing for Bussy.
Yep. We're going to keep breaking down the game with our guy Devan Dubnyk in a few minutes' time here. He of Ask Doobie fame, of course. But a couple different things I want to get to with Dubes. But again, I don't want to sit here and be grumpy after a win because they've given us plenty of nights where we need to be grumpy after a loss. So, again, the 5-on-5 effort needs to be miles better than it was yesterday. They need to find a way to generate some good offensive chances. And something that I actually like that Thomas brought up was the blue line having a role in that. And Muehlett commented it as well. Matthias Ekholm couldn't keep a puck in last night to save his life.
Good. The thing that was driving me nuts about that, if it happens once, whatever, it happens. But that's clearly a set play that they're trying to set up a little bit here, and you're just not ready for it. It happened 3 times in the first period. It was unbelievable. I could not believe my eyes. He seemed to be the only one that had that problem too. He struggled. The contract, I think it will be fine ultimately, but this is why we were talking that you should have waited. Wait a little bit. Even if you were waiting until this point in the season and he's been playing well,
you would have gotten him cheaper. He has not been good this year.
He has had some. He started out well, and then he just gradually.
Which is almost more concerning than if it was the opposite. If he started poorly, then got better, I'd be like, he's finding his footing. Now I'm just sitting there being like, oh my God, is he already out of gas in November? Which I don't want to get to that point with him, but it's worrisome.
It is worrisome. There's no doubt about it. And everyone just continues to say, is like, well, he was injured. He was injured. That's the point. That's the whole point. He was injured, significantly injured, and he's older player now.
Yes. Ryan from Saskatchewan. Tyler and Liam, would you look at changing the D pairs? We talked about this yesterday. I would very much consider Kulak with Bouchard going forward.
I would too, because they were good in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Paul Coffey trusted Kulak to play 23 minutes around there. And Kulak's not been perfect this season either, but you're seeing less from him in the era side of thing. Then you would go to Ekholm. The one pairing I think you always have to keep together is Nurse and Wallman.
Well, so that's what I was going to get
consistent there.
That's what I was going to get to next. Is Darnell Nurse with Jake Wallman this year, 140 minutes at 5-on-5. They're outscoring the other team 9-7. Nurse and Regula have played 34 minutes and they've got outscored 2-0.
Because Regula doesn't have an offensive game.
Yeah.
And you need Nurse to have the offensive game, but you need a solid defenseman with him. And Regula's just not that guy yet.
So Nurse with Wallman, the score is 9-7 for the Oilers. Nurse without Wallman, it's 7-2. You need to, and that's maybe why they're not doing it, is because I think they want Ekholm to maybe play through this a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you put Nurse with Regula, it's a bad pairing. Nurse with Wallman, actually a good pairing. Right now, Bouchard and Ekholm is not working that well, but are you going to demote Ekholm all the way to the third pair? And what does Ekholm and Regula give you? Because I worry about that. Neither one of them are particularly strong passers of the puck. It's a bit of a conundrum.
Interesting conundrum. Wow. That wasn't a conundrum.
It's a conundrum indeed,
Conundrum.
Liam. Yes.
We're in a conundrum.
Yes.
Poor
Mark Stewart.
I would do it. Because I think at the end of the day, you're going to have one pairing that's weaker. That typically has to be your third pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Can they survive zone starts? Can they survive playing in the defensive zone and just getting pucks out? Yeah, I think they're both good NHL defensemen. I would elevate Kulak. I would give him the bump. I'm not saying you have to play him 25 minutes plus a night. And I'm not saying Ekholm needs to play 12 minutes a night. But there's got to be a balance there where you can kind of like, okay, let's try something a little bit new today and see what we can roll with here.
Our new colleague Lisa said, "Hey guys, I baked muffins for you. They'll be in the kitchen tomorrow."
We have our kitchen,
our kitchen, or the kitchen downstairs.
I have a question, Lisa.
Either way, excited for muffins.
Me asking. Thanks for the muffins.
And then Doobie's here, so we got to get to Doobie.
Is this fridge gonna I don't want to sound cheeky, but I'm just curious. Are we rotating the fridge supplies? Is this just a thing you guys have established?
We should. I mean,
now?
the company should be expensing. Like,
yeah, I agree. We should be expensing.
But are you owning this going forward?
Is this your thing, or is this something now that like Aaron has to do?
Do we have to take turns?
Hey, I've been filling up our fridge up here. Have you guys yet?
Yeah, that's fair.
I got cleaning supplies I cleaned the toilet.
I've been
I brought toilet paper from home.
We've ran out. Let's come help Brett yesterday.
I'm a bad teammate. I haven't done shit up here. That's on me, though.
Shout out when I came into the office today and I looked around and I saw the fridge full of stuff and there's food everywhere. Yeah. Lisa, I love you. Thank you. This is living. Talking about a 5-star resort.
I'm throwing you a curveball in the ad. We had Thomas Hickey on the Star Mechanical guest line. Devan Dubnyk's appearance is brought to you by our friends at Greta Arcade Bar Street Food. It is all good at Greta. We had our guy Doobie there during the playoff run. He was playing the arcade games, also doing pre and post games with us.
He stayed out with me. He stayed out with me.
The patio, tremendous. Doobie still texts me and goes, "Man, I wish there was a Greta in Minnesota." On that note, we bring in another one of our coworkers, Devan Dubnyk, the former NHL goaltender. You miss Greta, don't you?
I do. It's a different vibe. There's not. I don't know. I don't know if it's an Alberta thing, Northern Alberta thing, just Edmonton, but man, it's an awesome vibe.
Not awesome vibe. The Edmonton Oilers, as of late, they somehow win the hockey game yesterday, Doobie. Basically because just Connor McDavid was there. But are there any, like, as you watched the 9-1 drubbing last week, and then week before that it was the 2-goal leads that they couldn't hold on to. Then even last night, you need a basic borderline miracle to beat Columbus. How concerned are you right now at the state of this group?
Well, I'm going to look at last night's game and hope that that's a spark. I mean, you want to talk about a swing of what the next 24 hours could be like. You go in, you get shellacked 9-1, and then you come in. You know, if that game ends 4-2 with not a lot of pushback, you know, you're in emergency mode. You know, not that anybody wants to panic, but things could look really, really bad right now. And instead, you have positives. Connor puts the team on his back, goes and ties the game up. Well, Walman tied the game, but essentially Connor got them back in the game. And then you get a huge save from Skinner in overtime that springboards the overtime goal. So you went from things looking really, really bad to a springboard. This could be an emotional springboard, energy, whatever it is. Zach Hyman's coming back. All of these things, you could look back on this game and look at this as possibly a jump starter for this team when it could have looked real dismal if that ends up 4-2 or 4-3.
D asked in the chat, what did you make of Stuart Skinner last night?
He's good. I don't like to pick on the goalies. I'm looking at that. I don't love his movement that much right now. A lot of sliding around on his knees, which I don't like, which I don't think is really how he moves normally in his game. I don't know what they're doing, and they could be working on different things with the goalie coach, so I'm not going to jump in there when I don't know anything, but you know, I'd like to see him move on his feet a little bit more. But again, this could springboard him. I never envy him with what he has to go through on a day-to-day basis with just every single shot, every save, every goal, just getting overanalyzed and looked at, and he's got to deal with that every day. So I'm happy for him that he got to go out there and be a hero after, you know, a real tough game against Colorado, and then, you know, last night was 4 against, but it doesn't matter because you come out on the right side of it and hopefully get a good feeling going.
Yeah, someone commented, they were like, he maybe wasn't good, but he was clutch. And like, you make the stop in OT, you make a couple of big saves in the third. They did kill a penalty at the end there. You know, your goalie's got to be your best penalty killer. I think he only faced 1 or 2 shots though. But like, again, if Stu, even if he's not good, if he gives you clutch saves, that kind of counts as giving you a chance to win.
100% it does. You know, you always want to, I'd say if you're going to let in a bad goal and, I think the only one last night I didn't love was the rebound one. I thought it was a little sloppy, both movement off of the rebound too, but it doesn't matter if at the end of the day you win a hockey game, nobody's going to go back and dive into all these little things and whether you should or shouldn't have stopped the puck. And if he's making saves when it's 4-3 to keep it 4-3, if he's making saves when it's 4-4 in overtime, that's allowing you to get to 5-4. That's much more important than counting goals against.
Evan Bouchard bench last night. First time we've seen that, I think, from him.
Might be ever. I don't think Knoblauch's ever benched him.
Yeah. Well, what kind of message does that send to a room when one of your best players gets benched, especially so early in a hockey game?
Well, you have to, because the other side of it is what message does it send if you don't bench him? Yeah. Because I mean, he's got a huge leash, obviously, with who he is, what he's done, contract, all that stuff. He's got a long leash. It's been a long leash. Is at the end of it. And at some point you got to show something to them for that, but it's just gotten to the point where I don't think he had a choice, because if you don't sit him down for a little bit, what message is that sending to the rest of the group that it doesn't really matter? He's draining us with these turnovers, with all of these things are bringing the team down, and he just keeps going out there and playing. That's not the right message to send to the team too. So I think it just got so glaring that they didn't really have a choice. Otherwise, it's the wrong message on the other side.
That's fair. Next one I wanted to go to, they came out last night in the first period, and this is something we've been very critical of them. Sometimes it doesn't feel like there's a passion. We always joke about our give a shit meter. Yeah. Where's the Oilers give a shit meter on a given night? And last night they come out in the first period, and for the first time all year, they're getting in scrums. They get their first fighting major of the year with Trent Frederick dropping the gloves with Olivier. But then it kind of falls off a cliff after that. They had 3-4 scrums in the first period, basically none for the rest of the game. And that makes me worried that it's just not in this team's DNA to be scrappy and an in-your-face team. And I guess it's a roundabout way of me asking you, does that stuff matter? Do the Oilers need to find that? Do they need to find guys who have it in their DNA? Or do you just think that they can succeed without having that sort of in-your-face, rough and tumble mentality about them?
Well, I don't think you necessarily have to have the scrums. However, you have to have emotional engagement and emotional involvement and that passion. And that comes in all different ways. But if that's the direction that a game's going and you're emotionally involved in the game, then the scrums are going to happen and that stuff's going to happen. I don't like saying, "Hey guys, you guys need to go out and mix it up," because that doesn't always benefit players either. Not everybody reacts well to having to get a glove in the face and fingers stuck in their eyes all the time. That doesn't motivate guys, but it should come naturally and genuine if you're out there and you really are into the game and you're passionate and you care, and maybe things aren't going well and somebody hits your guy, and then those emotions come naturally. Then that should happen once in a while. If you're not that team, it doesn't have to happen every game, but it should happen once in a while, especially if you're not, maybe things aren't going as well. You can't make guys do it. So I agree with you. I think I'd like to see more of that passion when it calls for, but I don't like saying, guys, you got to go mix it up in front. You got to go cause, unnecessary stuff after the whistle all the time. When it's warranted and there's a reason for it, an emotional reason for it, then that's when you want to show it. You just don't want to see a bunch of flat lines out there where it doesn't seem to matter what's going on, winning or losing. There just doesn't seem to be that engagement.
Okay, that leads to a follow-up I want to ask now, because I can't tell, and I always kind of preface questions with this, is this a dumb fan thing to think, or is this something that actually has an impact? But Connor and Leon being emotional leaders for this team. They are never going to go into scrums, except for yesterday. Leon hated Kent Johnson for some reason, but whatever. But they're never going to go into scrums. But one thing I've harped on them for is man, it looks like no one likes scoring goals less than Connor and Leon, right? They score, and because they've done it a million times, they don't even smile. They fist bump everyone. Even last night, McDavid scores a beauty. He goes by the bench, monotone the whole time. Compare that to the way the bench reacted to either one of the Jake Wallman goals. Totally different. And I get that if you're Connor and Leon, you have scored hundreds of goals. You're not going to drop to one knee and celebrate every single one. But sometimes I wonder if those guys showed a bit more emotion after scoring a goal, especially a big one like Connor last night, if that wouldn't rub off on the team a little bit and maybe bring everyone up an octave, like energy-wise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. And that I'm thinking the stuff right now. I'm not saying this is what it is, but I mean, it also feels like, Connor's almost like he's like doing it by himself right now. And in last night anyway, and it's like, it was almost like his job wasn't done. Like he scored that amazing goal to make it 4-3. And he was just like, I'm not selling this because the way things are going, I'm probably gonna have to go get number 4. So like I'm staying focused here because my job's not done. But I agree with you, and it's certainly not a case that those guys don't love scoring goals. I guess they're more used to it than some. But I do think it can help. I think that seeing some emotion there can certainly help. But again, it's the passion and from those guys, and the determination is obvious, and they know everybody knows what they're getting from those guys and how much they care. So you don't want to force guys to do something, especially Connor McDavid. But I don't disagree with you. I think if there was a little bit more emotion and excitement there, that can rub off on a group.
You ever been in a situation like the Oilers were in on Saturday night where they got shelled 9-1 and basically had no choice but to go out and play a half decent game the next time out?
Do you remember the team I played for?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't think we lost.
I remember when you were on a
9-1,
good
but,
team.
had a few shellackings in my day. Yes, I think the worst one I can think of was in the American League in Hartford. We lost like 10-1, and I had to play. I came back in the net. I got pulled after 4. I left, and they'd scored 3 by the time I got to the dressing room and come back, and got put back in the game, and then we lost 10-1. And it was kind of a good lesson for me to learn. My agent told me, and I've kind of passed this on and stuck with it the rest of my career. But in going into that next game, like you can't, as a goalie, you can't go out and have a 50 save shutout if you only get 10 shots. And you want to go out there and you want to make a difference, and you want to, but then you're forcing it. It's a reactive position. You have to let it come to you. So you have to have this mindset of being sharp, being ready to not give up any bad goals, all this stuff. But you can't go out there and try to force a 50 save shutout, which is a challenge as a goalie, because the player can be like, screw this, I'm going to go out and get a hat trick, and they can actually make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But if I only get 10 shots, I can only make 10 saves, and you gotta let that happen.
Do you think that's maybe a little bit of what's going on with Calvin Pickard right now? Like his save percentage is in the 830s. He's fighting it. And I even think back, like as you kind of walked through that answer, I'm like, man, that Parker Kelly goal that both gave us a chuckle, the breakaway where he like lunged at him and just never had a hope at it. I was like, okay, hearing that, I'm like, that's a goalie that's forcing it almost to me. But like, is Pickard maybe in that spin cycle of like things aren't going bad and he's just trying so hard to make them go well?
Yeah, that's a good example of what can happen, right? You're so tense. It's like he wants to make that breakaway save so badly that like the second there's a shot fake, everything just reacts, and he's down early. So it's a tough situation for him. Again, it's the same kind of thing, right? It's like at some point he's a human being, and you go through the entire summer and all this thing, and he obviously loves being in Edmonton. He's loved there, and what else is he supposed to do? Like if I'm him, obviously you have to think, and you gotta go out there and keep playing. But he goes out there and he's a hero in playoffs last year. Does everything and more that you could ever ask of a backup goalie. And then he goes through the summer where everyone's just still talking about they need a better goalie. And then he starts the season. Like at some point it can add up and just build on you, especially then if it doesn't go well. So again, you just got to work and try to find a way to relax and go out there. And fortunately, his record's not terrible. So if it'd be different if he's like 0-5 or something, then you got a little more concern. But it's got to be tough. He's a human being, and it's been kind of a tough, weird, emotional thing for him too.
Yeah, and I can imagine too, like with the Ingram acquisition and that guy sitting in the minors. Granted, Ingram hasn't been good, but like for Pickard, that's just another layer where like at least before he had some amount of job security, being like, hey, I know it's going to be me and Stu, but right now he's struggling. I would imagine struggling around like November, December, Christmas time, all of that also isn't a lot of fun when the organization's like basically already acquired your replacement and is just waiting for him to get up to speed. Like that sucks on a human level.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and like I said, from his perspective, it's like, what else do you want me to do? You brought me in to be here to be back up. I got put in a situation last year in playoffs, 7-1, And it's like, what is he supposed to do in order to solidify his job, right? That would be tough to do.
Yeah. Doobie, appreciate your time. Thanks for popping on. New episodes of Ask Doobie dropping every week here on the Oilers Nation YouTube. If anybody watching has a question they want to throw Doobie's way, put it in the chat. We'll forward it off to Reese. Then Reese forwards it off to Doobie. It's a great little system we have here. But appreciate your time. Thanks for doing this.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
There you go. Devan Dubnyk. Doobie, you ever given up a lot of goals in a game?
I should have prefaced when you were on a really good hockey team, not playing for the early
when he was on Minnesota, not Edmonton.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. But it was a funny response.
It was good.
At least.
Anyways, there you go. Doobie, Hickey, a couple great former NHLers popping on with us today.
Oh, fantastic.
First hour of the show flies by.
Former first-round picks.
Correct.
Thomas Hickey, 5th overall.
First time we've ever had 2 first-round picks on the same show?
No, we had Rob Shrimp on the show, wasn't
with Doobie.
With Doobie. I would assume other than those ones, Doobie really helps us get there.
Yeah. Yeah, probably a lot of shows where we've just had Doobie on with someone else.
Have we had any other first-round picks? We would have, obviously those 3.
Louis was later.
Was Grant Fuhr a first-round pick? He might have been. Grant Fuhr might have been. Oh, we never had Gagne.
Has he not been on this one?
No.
I don't think he's been on
Grant Fuhr, first-round pick.
Mark Messier was a first-round pick.
Yeah, Mark Messier was.
So we're up to 5.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Maybe one day we'll get a whole first round worth of first-round picks on the show. That would be a lot. If it's taken us
32 guests?
Yeah, 700 episodes to get to this point, it might be tough for us to get to 32 first-round picks.
The other ones would be Evander Kane, obviously was on Real Life. Sam Gagne, also on Real Life. Oh, Laddie Schmid, was he No.
Oh, I think he was.
He was. He was a late first-round pick by the Ducks.
Ninth overall.
Holy moly. Damn.
What a draft class.
What a draft class?
Dude, Ovi Malkin.
Mark Messier was a 3rd-round pick.
Ooh, sorry, guys.
Played like a first-round pick, tell you that much.
Ovi Malkin, Cam Barker, who we could maybe get on the show. Andrew Ladd, Blake Wheeler, Al Montoya. Don't ask him about it. Rostislav Olesh, Alexander Picard, then Laddie Schmid. Laddie Schmid, I will say this, he really, him and Doobie from that draft class were still both, if you just go by games played, they still both grade out to first-round picks, which Doobie for a goalie to get that high in games played is exceptionally rare. Good. But even Laddie, 583 games played.
Troy Brower, 7th-round pick, was in that draft, 851 games in the NHL.
Damn.
Those are always the good ones. Wow, this is still when they had 9 rounds.
What year was...
Daniel Winnick, 9th round, 265th overall, 798 games.
Damn.
That's crazy. 2 guys. Mark Straight, who played for the Islanders.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, 786 games.
You know who's another guy who just popped up on my TV today who I'm like, man, that guy, as much as Oilers fans might be like, oh, first-round pick, whatever, Kyler Yamamoto is putting together a career that is impressive.
It's really too bad he got injured because he was for what did he get him in 23rd 22nd became a top 6 player for the Oilers at a time, was contributing regularly alongside Draisaitl. What did he get, a neck injury I think it was, maybe a concussion, whatever it ended up being, and it was really too bad because he was a really solid player for Edmonton. I liked him. Drafted
22nd overall, is currently 23rd in games played from his draft class.
What was he at? I think he played 200 or 300 for the Oilers.
Yeah, he's at 325.
So he must have played about 200 games for the Oilers, I would think.
Yeah. Off points, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19th in points from his draft class. That's impressive stuff. He goes even higher. He's 16th in goals. He's having, it's not over. We're not, whatever, but
he's still fairly young.
Yeah, he's 27 years old. There is reason to believe he can grind out another 3-4 years, get to 500 games. And this is something I learned talking to Huts, but your pension is based on how many seasons you kind of played. You accrue service time basically.
Right.
And I even think Huts was explaining that when you're healthy scratched, I think that's worth half a game towards your pension. Oh. So just being on the roster for games is important.
Right.
But if he's a guy who's going to get to call it 500 games, going to get a 50% pension for the rest of his life from the NHL,
for a guy that had a neck injury, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
There was some, actually, speaking of injuries, an update from Jason Gregor on our pal Zach Hyman.
Sure.
Jason Gregor tweeted out earlier today, won't play against Philadelphia on Wednesday, will make his season debut either in Columbus on Thursday or against Carolina on Saturday. He is for sure playing against Carolina, and the possibility for Columbus, hoping Thursday, but will depend on final test.
All right, so he is guaranteed, per Jason Gregor, Zach Hyman will play a hockey game in the next 5 days. So
who's going? What do they got to do here?
That's a good question.
Is it as simple as Ike Howard? Thomasek? I don't know what the money is right now.
Yeah, I think it's probably got to be.
Or are they just playing with roster spots here?
I think they are going to send down Ike Howard. He barely played again last night. And again, and maybe it's just who Chris Knobloch is as a coach. You either have the stomach to play these kids and let them learn from their mistakes, or you don't as a head coach, and you're too focused on winning every single individual game in the margins. So, like, even last night, I thought Matt Savoy was good for the bulk of that hockey game.
Thought he did all right.
Then he gets pulled off away from McDavid because they're loading up late, and, like, maybe that's just more circumstantial or whatever. But, like, yesterday, Ike Howard played .857. I mean, granted, they played him more than they played Curtis Lazar, but still, he played .857. I liked him when I saw him. There was one play, though, where he tried to rush it up the ice, and, like, it was in the neutral zone. It resulted in a turnover and went back the other way, and I kind of laughed. I'm like, well, I just saw Ike Howard's last shift of the game. But that just goes back to what we talked about earlier, where, like, I think he is, again, struggling, learning how to not be the best player on the team, right? Like, against Michigan, when he has a full head of steam and he's coming in with a defenseman, no matter how big the gap is, no matter where he is in the neutral zone, in Michigan, he knows he can beat the guy.
Yeah.
So you get past him and you go zing a wrist shot on net, and maybe you score. In the NHL, you need to pass that puck or chip it in, and you need to just play a little bit differently and recognize that, you know what? Not every game you're going to get an opportunity to walk around a defenseman and score a goal. There are going to be games where you just need to play the right way and trust that you'll get breaks that way.
I think it's time for him to go and learn if he can beat AHL defenseman one-on-one.
Yeah, there you go.
I just not seeing enough puck skills right now.
Yep.
Not enough passing. A little bit too many turnovers. I won't count out his work ethic. I think he's working hard out there in the limited minutes he's getting. I also don't blame Chris Knobloch for not playing him, for the reason being you got to get guys going. You know what I mean? And I feel like the top six has been fairly fine, minus Mangiapane yesterday. We haven't really touched on too much. He had a difficult night. But do you really want to then put McDavid next to Savoy and Howard on the top line? I just don't think that's the right recipe for success. I just don't think there's space for him today.
No.
I think in a couple of months it might figure itself out, and maybe there's a spot there. But, like,
never know.
I've also got to think, is it worth sending down Thomasek over Howard right now when you can just send down Thomasek in a few weeks when Kapanen comes back? I think it's more beneficial to have Howard play than have Thomasek not play.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Do you give a shit if David Tomasik spends a week in the press box?
He already just he is.
He should be happy to be here.
Yeah.
Ike Howard, there's a development plan here.
Yeah.
So right now, the Oilers are at 13 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goalies on the roster. So to get this thing, you're going to bring up Hyman, which is going to put you to 14. But that also means I think you need to clear up. Hyman's 5.5. You're at 1.6 right now. So that's $3.9 million you need to try to get off this roster. So I think you need to send down like 3 players. I think you might need to run 12 forwards.
Or is Nuge going on LTIR? The can is being kicked, folks. It's been kicked all season, and they ain't picking it up yet. This is a big damn hill they're kicking it down.
If it truly is, like, I know he said at least a week for Nuge. Chris Knobloch speak, it might be a month. But if it's not going to be a month, you aren't just going to tell Nuge, like, hey, sit down for a little bit.
1,000th game on New Year's Eve is out the window.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
My dad told me that yesterday.
But if you send down Howard, there's 950. I mean, you might have to send down both Howard and Tomasik.
That's fine.
Howard and Tomasik.
7-game road trip, though. That is a tough one to send a guy down on.
Howard, Tomasik, and Stetcher on waivers gets you 2.8.
Why don't you text Hart?
Yeah, okay. I'll text Hart. You know what? That's probably the right way to.
Because they put Kapanen on LCIR. So does that do anything for us? Is Janmark getting traded tomorrow? Didn't know he played yesterday.
1-0 in the Janmark era.
We sure are. I said yesterday, I was like, they kind of need a guy like that. He was invisible yesterday, which is probably fine. I think I gave out the Jeans Award last night. I gave it a sponsored segment.
Oh,
Andrew Mangine Apani, as people put in the chat. Tough night for Manji.
yeah. Although I think people have been like, oh, he's been bad. I don't think he's been bad since coming over. He's had some good moments. He's just been a bit too ineffective at times, but like
4 goals on the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that's 3rd on the team.
Yeah.
He's not been great by any means, but I don't know. I don't think he's been as bad as people are saying.
I think he's playing in a role that maybe he wouldn't necessarily be in.
Be a great third liner when everyone's good.
If he has 4 goals in the third line, I love him.
He has 2 from the third line already.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not too bothered about Angie Manji.
Manja. All right. Let's keep going along. You want to do a little what's trending?
Yes.
Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament coming up once again this January. Why don't you join us? Get your team together. We're playing out on beautiful Lake Mildred. Always one of my favorite weekends of the year. January 23rd to 25th, Tourism Jasper, hell of an event. CHA Hockey handles all the hockey planning, and they are the experts at this stuff. Fairmont JPL, very, very wonderful hosts. Love a weekend out at the JPL. Cannot wait for the Pond Hockey Tournament once again this January. Blue Jays manager John Schneider up for Manager of the Year tonight.
Congratulations, John.
I hope he wins.
Me too.
He wins.
Who's he up against?
Stephen Vogt of the Cleveland Guardians.
Okay.
And I forget who the other one is. I think Vogt's going to win. That's kind of the...
Stephen Vogt should be watching his pictures a little bit more.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
Stephen eligible?
Don't think he should be.
Nothing from his play.
Or is it like a compliment to him that he handled that with...
Oh shit!
Thank you for busting your pitches.
Hey, you lost 2 of your best pitchers midseason. Still managed to make the playoffs, go on a crazy run. He probably deserves some. Yeah. Anyways, what else is trending? I just realized we didn't write anything in this one.
I looked at that too.
Yeah.
Like,
No, this
empty.
stuff.
I'm back.
Aaron's
back.
Trending.
That's huge.
Something else that was trending yesterday. There was more points at one point in the Oilers game than the Green Bay and Philadelphia game.
That was an awful primetime game.
Yeah, that was bad.
Truly terrible.
Bad week of primetime games for the NFL.
Yeah.
What a week for me to leave, dude. I don't watch any of this stuff.
It was bad.
That is great. Mavericks are firing Nico Harrison.
There might be an award for the worst organization in sports.
Mavs?
Just based off recency bias. You allowed that guy to trade your best player.
Yep.
Then gave him enough time to get first overall pick, and then now upset that you're 3-8 to start the season. And Kyrie Irving, he's probably their best player now, right?
He's been out all year.
Is just out. What do you want this guy to do? I mean, not trade Luka. That would be a start, but you allowed him to do that. You said
you let him start the season this year.
Yeah.
So
seems like a dumb move.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's dumb.
Last night, 2025 Hockey Hall of Fame class inducted.
Yeah.
You had, from an NHL-er perspective, Duncan Keith, the former Edmonton Oiler, got in.
It gave a shout out to one of the Penticton V's scouts in his speech.
Really?
Yeah, Rob McLaughlin. Shout out Rob.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Zdeno Chara got to give his speech. Alexander McGillney sent his over. He wasn't in attendance for that one. But yeah, it was Chara, Duncan Keith, Alexander McGillney, and Jumbo Joe Thornton were the men's players. Jen Botterill and Brianna Decker were the women's players. Jack Parker, coached for 40 years at BU. He got in the builder side. And so did Danielle Savageau, who was the head coach of the Olympic team for the women in '02 when they won gold.
I believe the first woman to get inducted into a builders category in hockey.
Really?
I think so. I think it's a relatively new. I think maybe they just expanded it to 2. I don't know, but she is the first woman to be inducted in on that side, if I'm not mistaken. I could be. Our pal Paul Paduti.
Yes.
Our Hall of Fame buddy. Paul, we've had him on the show once before. He recently put out an article on Daily Faceoff of current players who could be inducted into the Hall of Fame one day, and he kind of gave his rankings.
Yeah, it was cool.
There was one player, so McDavid was in a circle. We all know he's going. Draisaitl was also a qualified. One player which I thought was very interesting that was Hall of, what was it? Hall of very good.
Okay, wait. Can I guess who you're going to say?
Yeah.
Eichel.
I can't believe he's Hall of Very Good. I think he's a top 5 player in the league.
So
maybe his time missed. Is that
So
it? Yeah.
I think that would be what factors into it. So Paul basically had he had 6 tiers, okay? Inner circle, and his inner circle was Crosby, Ovechkin, McDavid, and Malkin. Those are the 4 guys who like he basically views as like first ballot.
And this is just forwards, by the way.
This is just forwards. The qualified category was Kucherov, Kane, McKinnon, Draisaitl, Stamkos, Marchand, Matthews, Pasternak, Taves, Tavares, Kopitar, and Panarin. Borderline / above, he had Rantanen, Perry, and Barkov, which like Rantanen over Eichel, they each have a cup. That one was weird to me.
Rantanen's never been the best player on his team.
Correct. Eichel was the best player on all those Buffalo teams.
Best player on his team now.
And then he got to borderline / below. Jamie Benn, Claude Giroux, Matt Tkachuk, Tyler Seguin, Braden Point, and Mitch Marner. And then he got to Hall of Very Good, which was Aho, Tarasenko, Gensel, Scheifele, Stone, Kaprizov, then Eichel. Eichel's qualified for me. Like, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
I think so, too. People are unsure of it. He's probably going to, like, if the league ended today, he'd probably win the MVP.
He's probably getting, and he will, I think, get an MVP before his time's up. And then he had an under 30 category, which was Kyle Connor, Sam Reinhart, William Nylander, Jason Robertson, and Nick Ehlers. None of those guys I don't think are really Hall of Famers. Maybe Sam Reinhart will get enough of a push from 2 cups, a 4 Nations, and maybe an Olympic gold this
also,
spring.
To his impact on those 2 Stanley Cup finals.
Very big, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he win the Conn Smythe this last year? Yeah. No, Bennett did, you're right. Sorry.
I don't know.
I wish I wouldn't have brought that up. But yeah, Eichel I thought was too high. Panarin being in the 2nd tier of qualified, crazy to me.
Especially with
He's Hall of Very Good.
Especially with Corey Perry not in the qualified.
Yes.
Corey Perry won an MVP, a Stanley Cup, and he's a Triple Gold Club member. He's probably the best player in the LA Kings right now.
That's the most qualified.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised Perry wasn't.
But
much
again,
higher
his
on this
whole thing is a calculation and different things are weighted. So it's not
Totally.
so much his opinion, which makes it for a more fun debate because we're in a way kind of arguing like vibes over stats in a lot of this. But like,
Yeah.
you know, even a guy like David Pasternak is so damn good. But like him and Eichel are in the same tier.
Probably.
So-
he did have defensemen too, if you want me to rifle those off quickly.
Sure.
So is a much shorter list. Qualified: Hedman, McCart, Doughty, Burns, Letang, Carlson. I don't think anyone would argue that. Borderline / above: Roman Yossi. Borderline / below was Petrangelo and John Carlson. Under 30 was Fox, Quinn Hughes, Charlie McAvoy, and Aaron Ekblad, who I don't know about you guys. I don't really see that guy as anywhere close to all.
No, he should not be a Hall of Famer.
No, he should not be a Hall
To
of
me,
Famer.
like I do.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
drugs.
banned like Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
I think like, and this is why I wish hockey would do it a bit differently.
Like baseball?
Like in baseball, if there's a year where like they don't think there are 4 guys worth, like they'll induct 1 guy, no guys, 2 guys, 6 guys. The committee basically just votes like yes or no, and you need a threshold percentage of the amount of vote to get in. And hockey just kind of does 4 guys a year, which is very hockey to be like, no, it's fair. We do 4 guys every single year.
Yeah.
That results in some weird stuff. I also think the cap on how long you're on the ballot needs to be less because, like, Kevin Lowe got in, and Kevin Lowe deserves to go in because I think, and I had this conversation with Merrick today, defensive defensemen don't get enough love in any of this stuff, right? And maybe if there was an award for best defensive defenseman, then someone like Lowe would have won it a few times. Adam Foote, he brought up today, would have won it a few times. I look at Jacob Slavin in today's game. He would have probably 4 defensive defenseman of the year awards and be viewed as a Hall of Fame lock. I'm balancing that with the side of me that goes like, man, if you didn't rack up some individual accolades, are you truly a Hall of Famer? Which brings me to the class that could get in next year. 3 notable first-timers. Patrice Bergeron,
Okay.
first ballot lock.
Totally, yeah.
6 Selkies, has the success internationally and NHL-wise. Most Selkies in NHL history.
They spoke about changing the award to his name.
Yeah. North of 1,000 points. Only 101 players have ever done that. Like, Patrice Bergeron gets in. The other 2 guys are Phil Kessel and Eric Stahl. And it's like...
Oh, Eric Stahl, interesting. That is very much, I don't think he would be either, but a guy that had a lot of success at the start of his career. And
Yeah. and tailed off.
Yeah.
But some longevity in his career, too.
Yeah, how much do you weigh that?
1,300 games.
It's not nothing.
Never won an individual award. Finished 4th in Hart Trophy voting once. Other than that, was never even inside the top 20 for Hart Trophy. Never finished higher than 16th for the Selke. What did he do?
Yeah.
He's Hall of Very Good.
I was going to say, that's Hall of Very Good right there.
Phil
So-
Kessel Iron Man streak.
Okay, Patrick Marleau, all-time games played. Is Patrick Marleau a Hall of Famer, or did he just play for a really long time? Like, if you're going to do longevity, I also think you have to look at the fact that in Patrick Marleau's final 150 game or 120 games, he scored 15 goals. Like, he didn't do anything. And that's another guy who he finished 17th once for the Hart. That's it. Got a couple Lady Bing, a 3rd and a 4th place vote. 9th once for the Hart, sorry.
I probably won't have Phil Kessel in either.
And that's why, but again, I think both those guys are going to get in because 4 guys get in every year. So, like, as long as at some point you were the 4th most influential player, basically you can view it as, like, were you at some point the 4th most important player in a season, then you're probably going to get in.
Is there anyone else who's now the Alex McGillney?
Cujo.
Yeah, that's right.
Carey Price will be on his 2nd run in. He's got to get in next year.
I can't believe he wasn't a first ballot.
I'm stunned he wasn't first ballot because individual accolades, he's a Hart. Vezina, Ted Lindsay as a goalie.
Unbelievable Olympics in 2014.
Was under 1 goals against average of under 1 in an Olympics.
Yeah. Did you see actually that funny stat today? Macklin Celebrini is having the best start to a season under who is a Carey Price teammate.
Oh,
Because he got traded to San
traded to San Jose.
Something like that anyway.
Ryan Getzlaf, another fascinating name on the ballot.
Any individual awards for Ryan Getzlaf?
No. He had his best Hart Trophy voting season. He was the runner-up one year and then finished 6th. So like, at least him, I can sit there and squint and go, he actually had 3 seasons where he was top 10 for the Hart.
He's Shea Weber.
Weber had Norris's.
He never won a Norris.
You never won a Norris?
No, he never won a Norris. He actually might not have finished even top 3 in a Norris vote.
Fuck, he
Wasn't
won.
for effect.
He got a Mark Messier Leadership Award.
Wow. I'm going to start giving those out.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe he is just Shea Weber. But again, because
And those plays are great. Part of Olympic teams.
Mulek says 1,000 points for Getzlaf. That probably means something.
What's more impressive, 1,000 points or playing 1,000 games in a row?
Okay, here's a counterpoint, a very interesting counterpoint for Shea Weber. I just want to see who he lost to.
Hardest shot doesn't get you in, Tyler.
I know it
also
doesn't.
never won against Chara, so
he was back-to-back runner-up for the Norris in 2011 and 2012.
Okay.
Those years, Nick Lidstrom in an all-time Eric Carlson season. So right, like
Yeah,
that right
totally.
there, like I think Shea Weber maybe has a better case than Ryan Getzlaf.
who did Ryan Getzlaf lose his heart to?
That would be the 2014
2014 season, so that would have been the Patrick Kane.
Sidney Crosby.
Damn it.
So again, like, would you weigh that at all? I don't know. I think it's interesting. And the thing that's always going to help Getzlaf and Weber is that they played on great Team Canada teams.
I would say for Weber, that backs him up a little bit more than Getzlaf, is that he did it back-to-back years of like, I was so close.
I'm so close, yeah.
Getzlaf did it once, and
Yep.
I'm not saying Getzlaf's obviously an amazing hockey player. I agree. Maybe there should be higher standards. Maybe that kind of backtracks us a little bit. I know a Jack Eichel debate too, but I just think Eichel's going to bring a little bit more and get to that point. But if he finishes his career with no individual accolades and just one Stanley Cup, he kind of is just Ryan Getzlaf. I locked he's just a point per game player throughout his career, but
Yeah.
he's been great on Vegas.
Eichel has a 5th place Hart and 8th place Hart, and that's it.
Do you think that
5th place Selke.
Oh, Paul Paduti just liked one of my tweets. That's funny.
I wonder if he's watching. Paul, big fans.
Do you think that there should be any kind of impact into a Hall of Fame based off where you played, in the sense of like, did you help build up that market? Like a Getzlaf, for example, like he
Like
was,
cultural impact on the sport.
yeah, like you're an icon in Anaheim. Vega with Eichel as well. Like, does that matter?
That might be what gets Keith Tkachuk in. He might get in just because he's in the limelight now, and guys are like, "Oh, good old Walt! Look at him in the Cup final, cheering on his boy." And that's stupid to me. Like, but he might get in because one year there might just be a year where it's like, there's clearly like next year. So again, Bergeron, Kessel, Stahl, Price, Getzlaf, Zetterberg, Keith Tkachuk, Cujo, Marlowe. Is next year, like if you look at Bergeron and Price as locks, I mean, how high do you view Henrik Zetterberg?
Pretty high.
Pretty good player, but
Just
again,
off the top of my head.
individual awards? Nope. Won a Conn Smythe, though.
We did win 2 Stanley Cups.
Yep. Won some. He has rings. He was on great teams. If Henrik Zetterberg played in Minnesota, would he be a Hall of Famer? Or is he just marrying Gaborik on a good team?
But he would have been better than Gaborik. It's hard to compare. I know what you're saying.
Right?
What did he do for Sweden? Didn't he win?
Won a gold. As a gold.
So it's the Hockey Hall of Fame, not the NHL Hall of Fame. So that's significant.
So 960 points in 1,082 games. Gaborik's 815 points in 1,000 games. Scored 70 more goals in his career in fewer games than Zetterberg. So, like, that's what I mean. Like, if Gaborik played in Detroit on those teams, is he a lock? So how much of this, and it just depends on how you kind of view it as someone, and, like, what do you want your Hall of Fame to be? Zetterberg, culturally impactful player. Like, someone who does actually, in a way, define an era of the sport or plays a part in defining an era of a sport because he was on great Detroit teams. But do you get in because you were on great teams, or are you someone who looks more at pure quality of player, and that's what gets you in? I think it's a really interesting debate.
I think I would. I do think if you're on that Red Wings team, like Zetterberg was, that team deserves multiple Hall of Famers.
Yeah, totally.
Because what you did and the teams you were on, legendary teams.
Yeah.
And I think that should matter. And he wasn't like he was just a guy. He was Henrik Zetterberg.
Great defensively, all that stuff.
Yeah. So it's interesting, man.
Yeah, it's interesting. All right, we got a new episode of Oilers Nation Radio we're going to drop later on this afternoon. Oilers off tonight, but back-to-back games on the road. They get tomorrow. They're in Philly. Thursday, they're back playing Columbus again, which is great.
Yeah. We should mention today is obviously Remembrance Day.
It is Remembrance Day. We're wearing our poppies, obviously. Everybody, I mean, we also have American listeners. It's Veterans Day. But for us up here in Canada, Remembrance Day, you, big military family.
Yes.
So, I mean...
It's an important day.
Yeah,
I feel like a day in our society that maybe just kind of gets brushed by more than it maybe used to for whatever reason. So if you have a minute, take a little bit of time. Maybe read something about...
I'm going to watch Saving Private Ryan. I do it every year.
There you go.
Sure.
My dad was in the military. A lot of my grandparents have been, uncles, all that stuff. So a lot of respect for what the men and women do for us out there to keep us, our freedoms the way they are. So it's a very important day. A day, again, I think deserves a bit more recognition than maybe we give it than what it used to. So shout out to all those people. And if you're listening, thanks.
Shout out to everyone who is currently serving as well.
Yes, of course.
Well said, Liam. Said it better than I could have.
There you go.
That's where we're going to wrap up for today's edition of the show. Shout out to Thomas Hickey and to Devan Dubnyk for giving us some time today. Tomorrow, game day edition of the program once again. Are you still here tomorrow? I'm
here tomorrow, not here Thursday, Friday.
Oh, easy.
I'll be down at the Rocky Mountain Classic in Calgary, not Rocky Mountain.
Sure. All right, that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in today, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Oil up. What's up, Nation citizens? If you enjoyed today's episode of Oilers Nation Every Day, make sure you hit the subscribe button here on our YouTube to not miss any of our content. We got you covered from interviews, insight, analysis, everything you need to stay up to date on everything around the team. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a video.